Today we gather with a shared purpose to reflect on how we can make the most of this year, 2025, without wasting the opportunities it presents us. As we stand on the brink of this new chapter, it's essential to recognize that change is not just a possibility, it is a certainty. Embracing this change is crucial for our growth, both as individuals and as a community. In our fast-paced world, we often forget the value of authentic connections. These relationships are not just beneficial, they are vital for emotional health. When we reach out, share our stories, and listen to others, we'll create a network of support that can uplift us during challenging times. Speaking of challenges, let's talk about vulnerability. It's often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is a strength. By allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, we open doors to deeper connections and understanding. This year, let's commit to being open about our struggles, whether they relate to work, family, or personal aspirations. Sharing our fears not only helps us feel less alone, but also encourages others to do the same. Mental health must be at the forefront of our priorities in 2025. Just as we care for our bodies, we must also nurture our minds. This means taking time for self-care, seeking help when needed, and promoting mental wellness within our communities. Action is where intention meets reality. As we navigate this year, let's not just talk about change, let's be the change we wish to see. Every small step contributes to a larger movement toward improvement, whether it's volunteering in our communities or simply being kinder to ourselves and others. Finally, let's cultivate gratitude in our lives. It's easy to focus on what's lacking or what went wrong. However, practicing gratitude shifts our perspective and enhances our overall happiness. Let's take time each day to acknowledge what we are thankful for, big or small. As we move forward into 2025, let us commit to not wasting this year, but instead making it one filled with growth, connection, vulnerability, action, and gratitude. Together we can create a meaningful impact that resonates far beyond ourselves. Thank you. Change is an inevitable part of life, a constant that we cannot escape. It surrounds us in every moment, whether we recognize it or not. As we stand at the threshold of 2025, it's essential to embrace this change rather than resist it. The truth is, change can be daunting. It often brings uncertainty and discomfort. However, it also offers us the opportunity for growth, transformation, and renewal. At its core, change is about movement from one state to another. It can manifest in various forms: personal changes, such as shifts in our relationships or career paths; societal changes, like evolving cultural norms or technological advancements; and environmental changes that affect our planet. Each type of change presents its own set of challenges and opportunities. When we resist change, we often find ourselves in a state of stagnation. We cling to the familiar, fearing the unknown. But what if we viewed change as a catalyst for growth? Instead of seeing it as a threat, we can choose to see it as an invitation to explore new possibilities. This shift in perspective can be transformative. Adaptability is one of the most valuable skills we can cultivate in our lives. Those who embrace change are often more resilient and better equipped to navigate life's ups and downs. By developing a mindset that welcomes change, we open ourselves up to new experiences and insights that can enrich our lives. Consider how adaptability plays out in our daily lives. When faced with unexpected challenges, be it a sudden job loss, a health issue, or a global crisis, we have two choices. We can resist the situation and remain stuck in our discomfort, or we can adapt and find ways to move forward. Embracing change means acknowledging our feelings, but also recognizing that we have the power to respond creatively. Here we are, standing at the edge of possibility in 2025. The question is, what kind of mindset will we bring to the future? Let me begin by saying this: the mindset we choose today is what shapes our tomorrow. And in a world that's changing at lightning speed, adaptability is no longer optional, it's essential. When we lean into uncertainty, when we say, I don't know what's coming, but I'm willing to learn, we're not just surviving, we're thriving. But let's get honest for a moment. Being adaptable, being courageous is uncomfortable. It feels messy, it feels risky. Courage always does. Yet every breakthrough, every meaningful step forward has always begun with someone choosing to be brave over being comfortable. Now let's talk about connection. In this digital-first world, it's tempting to think we're connected more than ever. But here's the truth. Real connection isn't about how many followers or likes we have. It's about showing up with authenticity, building trust, and being willing to say, here's who I am, flaws and all. Connection is the currency of the future, and those who embrace it will lead with humanity and heart. Of course, none of this comes without setbacks. Failure will come, but what if we stop seeing failure as proof that we aren't enough? What if instead we saw it as the cost of admission to growth, to creativity, to innovation? Failing forward is the new standard, my friends. Now let's get real about the pace of life. For years, we've been taught that productivity is king, that success is measured in checkboxes and metrics. But here's the truth. If we're not grounded in purpose, in the why behind our actions, all that busyness won't mean a thing. Purpose isn't a luxury, it's our compass. Finally, let's talk about the power of empathy. Empathy is not a soft skill, it's a bold skill. It takes strength to see the world through someone else's eyes. In fact, in 2025, empathy might just be the most powerful leadership tool we have. So here's my challenge to you as we move through this year and embrace discomfort. Seek connection, fail boldly, act with purpose, lead empathy. The 2020-25 mindset isn't just about keeping up, it's about showing up fully for ourselves and each other. The future belongs to those who are brave enough to believe in the power of growth, courage, and connection. Let's go out there and own it. Thank you. Let's start with the simple truth. The world we live in today is not the world we lived in 5 years ago or even 1 year ago. Technology evolves, industries shift, and the rules of the game seem to change overnight. In 2025, the one trait that will set us apart, the one thing that will allow us to thrive, is our ability to adapt. But what does adaptability really mean? It's not just about reacting to change, it's about embracing it. It's about seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as invitations to grow. And yes, that's easier said than done. Because let's be honest, change is scary. It disrupts our routines, shakes up our sense of control, and sometimes leaves us feeling like we're starting from scratch. But here's the beauty of it. Every time we face change head-on, we become stronger. Adaptability is about more than just survival. It's about resilience. It's about looking at a situation and saying, okay, this isn't what I expected, but how can I make it work? How can I learn from this? How can I grow through this? And here's the thing. Every time we stretch ourselves in this way, we discover capabilities we didn't even know we had. We realize that we are so much more than our comfort zones. Think about the past few years. When the world shifted overnight during the pandemic, we saw adaptability in action. We saw people reinvent their careers, businesses pivot to entirely new models, and communities find creative ways to connect and support each other. It wasn't easy, it was messy and uncertain, but it was proof that human beings are incredibly resilient. Adaptability is also about staying open to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and even new ways of being. It's about letting go of the old story that says, this is how I've always done it, so this is how it must be. That story doesn't serve us anymore. In fact, clinging to it holds us back from discovering what's possible. And let's not forget, adaptability is a skill we can develop. It starts with our mindset. Are we willing to be curious instead of judgmental? Are we willing to try, fail, and try again? Are we willing to ask for help when we need it? Adaptability doesn't mean we have all the answers. It means we're willing to find them, even when it's hard. In 2025, adaptability isn't just a strength, it's a superpower. It's what allows us to navigate uncertainty with grace and determination. It's what helps us find opportunities in the middle of chaos. And most importantly, it's what reminds us that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by how we respond to them. So let's choose to lean into change.